How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 24 Chapter 1. This is Season 24 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 1. In this episode, we will be discussing the purpose of the film industry, its functioning and application as a system of control. We will also be reconceptualizing the tonic-dominant relationship according to consensuality and non-consensuality. The film industry is the major system of control within the simulation. It completes this task by eliminating social tension caused by internal ideological conflicts. The manner by which it does this is through proxy archetypes, characters, designed to represent a particular ideological antagonist, who, through the narrative, finds that ideological tension ultimately exposed and dissipated by the resolution or climax of the story. To explain this another way, imagine you are going through your day, and you have a terrible day, filled with social anxiety about the upcoming election due to your political leanings. Netflix knows what films you have watched in the past. In fact, it knows precisely at what time of the day you watched them, as well as receiving information from other apps and social media companies. It uses all of this information to identify your self-attributions, which it uses to recommend a particular film which resolves the social tension through the hubris or apotheosis of the character in the film. That is to say, AI chooses a film for you based upon your internal ideological struggle, which then resolves that struggle subliminally through the resolution of the tension in the narrative form. Now, this all suggests a few things. 1. Movies are being produced based upon self-attributions, not arbitrary industry conditions. The production houses mandate a certain number of preconceived characters with given self-attributions so as to ensure the full spectrum of ideological conflicts can be resolved through the narratives of the produced films. Imagine, it is as if there is a spectrum of ideological conflicts, like a spectrum of light, which provides the pigeonholes for each type of character of varying class, race, sexual orientation, religion, etc. All of these pigeonholes are then provided narratives, or written into narratives, so that for each type of ideological conflict, the resolution of the climax of the narrative in the film undermines expression of that conflictual impulse. Thus, our consensual reality is constructed out of the architecture of the film business. Its business plan is our model, i.e., how many films of each area, how many characters of each persuasion. The library of content available to the system determines its effectiveness in ensuring we don't run afoul of societal norms as a result of ideological undercurrents in the system. In fact, this process is simply a pure manifestation of emotional calibration expressed in Season 1, Episode 9, Season 9, Episode 2, and Season 11, Episode 4. These episodes discuss emotional calibration as the mechanism through which society is calibrated to a specific age in history. But the calibration of the film industry is more individualized, micromanaging the ideological conflicts into self-attributions that can be resolved individually instead of through collective action. There are of course other methods of self-control as well as emotional calibration through films and style, such as the use of subliminal sexual imagery to desensitize for the purposes of calibrating the disgust sensitivity of the viewers, which is closely aligned with a person's position on the political spectrum. Now, the second topic we would like to discuss is the tonic-dominant relationship from the standpoint of consensuality and non-consensuality. Emotional calibration is used to generate a consistent consensuality. But in the tonic-dominant relationship, only the tonic's impulses are met, which means that the dominants are relegated or subducted into their unconscious, or shadow self. This means that emotional coupling, the tonic-dominant relationship, brings the tonic's impulses out of their shadow self and pushes down the impulses of the dominant into their shadow self. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.